For me, music is important more in the idea process to kind of, evoke subconscious emotions. His lyrics a lot kind of draw pictures together for me. I think in terms of what actually influences my photos more directly, definitely Kid Cudi. Growing up, it's just the lyrics there and the emotion there and the vulnerability is something I see in my pictures. Frank Ocean, for sure, who, I think myself and a whole generation of artists can cite as a huge inspiration. Of course, Tyler, the Creator, Earl Sweatshirt, whose new album is really great. Jazz musicians like Miles Davis, John Coltrane, and James Brown. Basically any black artist in the 20th century is the shit, so simple as that. Mainly films are really inspirational. People who just have who have their own kind of humor, their own cinematography style, their own visual flair. I love everything Paul Thomas Anderson makes. I love, obviously, Spike Lee. Barry Jenkins, whose new movie of Beale Street Could Talk is amazing. Moonlight is just one of those movies of like a generation. Wim Wenders for Paris, Texas, Ingmar Bergman. I mean, these are movies that just really, I love. I don't know if you could point to my pictures and be like, oh, that's him doing this, but that's kind of where it starts. A lot of the people I look at are basically documentary photographers. I like documentation, I like things that feel more real. They could be art, they could not be art, but they're at least kind of a real moment in time. People are not gonna like this because I met Cindy Sherman the other week and I said, I don't like art photography, and her eyes bulged wide open, but I think art photography for me didn't translate because it stuck out as too far away from what I was. Like, travel is the Kickstarter for at least all my creative kind of like odysseys. It's kind of where I start my ideas. I kind of look at every picture I took and I'm like, oh, that was in Brighton Beach and that was in California. And I can't take like two pictures in the same place. I love Atlanta, Georgia, where I grew up. Socially, it's a bit oppressive, just being in the South. Atlanta is very much like a two-sided city. Very liberal in the city, very conservative outside. So you have kind of a lot of different energies. At the end of the day, it made me into the person I was just by knowing, A, I wanted to leave soon when I was 18, and B, by knowing, okay, the way people socialize here is pretty awful. I need to kind of figure out some way out. So it ended up working in the end. Now I like it because it's reprieve from New York, and it's great. Like, I think you come around to a certain age where you like home. It just happens. And also, now I'm making a book there. So I'm trying to understand all the things that I wanted to get away from.